Souls wandering, come in now. Yes, hello.
Do you how do?
Quests upon the table for Society Black Rabbit. A Cthulhu therein of called
Oh my.
actual play.
New welcome, viewers.
We broke the keeper, guys.
This everyday how it is.
A word of warning before we go any further. This evening's entertainment is a horror story and features adults who may use adult languages, and we may have adult themes. Consider this your blanket warning before we get going. Gotta love that transition right there. Got the horns. We got some new music, which is brought to you as always by Syrinscape. We've got added a bunch of other stuff, new sound effects and stuff that's all available via Heritage Sounds and or through a number of museums and stuff who put their collections online, which is fantastic. We've got a quick couple of pieces of housework. We have no Call of Cthulhu next Tuesday. We are taking the week off because I will be on the road. And hopefully my house will still be here when I get back because it's getting hit by a hurricane this weekend while I'm away. It's going to be great. Doors and Deities finishes up their season arc tomorrow, if I understand things correctly. So make sure to check it out. They're going to take a couple of weeks, which we're going to use to tune up some of the tech stuff, hopefully have less of the bizarro sound problems at the beginning, hopefully make sure that when this wonderful jazzy lady comes in the background, she doesn't overpower me. As always, huge thanks to Peter Edgar for doing the character art. You can find him at The Dungeon Sketcher on Patreon. Super awesome how much you all have supported us. We'd love for you to hit a subscribe, maybe get a sub or two. It'd be some great things. Finally, we've got a couple of announcements. First up, on October 15th, we have a new campaign starting up. Wish you were here. It's Advanced 5e by N Publishing. So it's like 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons, but advanced. It's a pretty awesome system. There's got some pretty cool things going on. We're going to have 8 weeks of going through a gang of crooks, criminals, and cranks preparing and executing a heist for a magical item that can grant someone their heart's desire. So make sure to keep watching this space for that kind of information. And then, last but certainly not least, Joel runs fantastic Ravenloft campaigns, professional dungeon master. You can find him at StartPlaying.Games/GM/leonidas-games.
Or you can just go to StartPlaying.Games and look for Leonidas Games, and it'll pull me up.
Hopefully. Not those other Leonidases. One of them's, he's still fighting a war from a couple thousand years ago.
Not that one.
Not that one. And now our players for the Fête Soir gonna go in I keep trying to make sure I do the order differently. So we're gonna start this time with Kyle playing Dr. Raymond Fox.
Wandering, once again, into certain death.
Joel playing the ever-awesome Professor Herbert Francis Devenalt.
Dolores, stay close. I'll take care of you.
Kendra playing Olive. Almost said Olive playing Kendra, because people have not done their little things for me to cheat off of.
That's my fault. I'll take care of it right now.
I mean, me and Olive were one and the same. Unfortunately, maybe not.
Ben playing Tommy Cole.
I like to think I'm a bit different. I tend to use less Molotov cocktails in my day-to-day life.
Oof. It's not what I've heard.
Ooh.
But that brings us to Drew playing Mr. Horace Charles Young.
Guten Tag. Has anyone noticed that the inside of this cave is strangely like saliva?
Damp, yes.
Well, a quick recap for those wondering how our investigators have found themselves in a damp cave. Last episode, they left the big city of New York to go to the provincial Arkham, Massachusetts. Dr. Raymond Fox drove up the investigators who were still free to do as they wish, while under the influence of a variety of narcotics.
know that's how I like it.
They manage to make their way there and first find the missing granddaughter of Professor Herbert Devenalt. Not missing.
Yes, not missing.
Sort of missing, finding out she was not in the town she once said she was in.
Very much in danger, granddaughter.
They also met Professor Lucretia Palmer, who works at Miskatonic University and was conducting experiments in the Orne Library, which may have led, or may yet lead, some light onto the strange happenstances that befell our investigators in the first season, which you can always go check out. In addition, Horace Young and Tommy Cole had found themselves institutionalized, not entirely of their own will, and they were eventually sprung by the rest of the investigators before heading to the southern end of Arkham and ultimately finding Lori and Lucretia Palmer outside of a cave near the top of the hill, deep in the woods. And after a loud and slightly heated argument about the best course of action, they realized that they were in fact yelling in front of a cave that Lori and Lucretia believe that the missing Mary is within, based upon their studies. And the investigators decided they were going to head into the bowels of the earth to determine what was what. So you all stand now at the threshold, and it's kind of your last chance before delving in. Well, you can always leave. But you see a pretty small cut into the earth. It looks natural. It doesn't look like someone has worked it. It doesn't look like it's a mine or anything. It's only about 4 feet across, and anyone who's too tall, perhaps Olive, might have to duck to avoid having their head scrape upon the ceiling.
How low is the ceiling?
It is about just shy of 6 feet.
I see. Well,
How far do you think we gotta go in?
I'm not sure, but perhaps we should keep our voices down. We have no idea what's in this pit of the devil.
I mean, I think they already know we're coming, but sure.
I have an idea for that. Never mind all that going into the cave business. Let's just leave. Okay, I think we've thrown him off the trail. Now we can sneak in.
This may not be the time for levity, Raymond.
Okay.
Okay, well, I guess ladies first since I have the bat. And I'm just gonna hold up my bat. Just start walking into the cave.
If it makes you feel better, I'm behind you with a shotgun.
Well, yeah, okay.
No, I've got my shotgun. I handed you the rifle, Tommy.
Ah, yes, that is the gun that I always use.
That said, if either of us says something along the lines of duck or take cover, it would be in everyone's best interest to hit the ground.
Whatever you do, don't say fire around Olive.
Who
Too
has torches? Does everyone have torches?
I believe that Dr. Fox has a road flare.
I never
and
leave
that
home without several
is-
road flares.
Have you
Holy-
lit the road flare?
Not yet.
I used to have the long one, but I don't have torches anymore.
I'm not even sure if an electric torch is a possibility. Honestly, is that something that would be available to us?
Professor, they've invented them not that long ago. Battery technology isn't fantastic, but it'll get better soon, I'm sure.
Well, do you happen to have any in the boot of your vehicle, Raymond?
A vehicle that we abandoned several miles ago.
I think I have one there. Do we think Do we think I should go and get it before we go in?
I think at this point we're walking in the dark, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's I'll turn around from the front of the line. Maybe we should play this out a tiny bit more.
Lori and Palmer each had oil lamps. Electric flashlights have been around since 1899.
See, we're not just having fun, we're learning, everyone.
Yeah. So it would be entirely feasible for Dr. Fox, noted for not quite being a spendthrift, to have at least one or two in the boot of his car.
I can go back there and collect them and any of the other things I find perhaps useful while I'm there.
Okay, what else would be useful? Do you have like rope?
No, I don't keep a full kidnapping kit in the boot of my car.
Well,
no.
maybe you should start. Like, this is kind of the direction our life is going in now. So
I'll make a note. You're not wrong. Let me
Yeah.
think. Let me cast my mind back to what I do actually keep in the boot of my car.
Yes, come on, everyone, out of the entrance of the cave. Come, Lori, come.
Are you?
I kind of we
Hey.
all kind of committed.
Horace is gonna he'll exit, but then just stand by the entrance, listening, keeping an ear in.
and I would like to watch Horace while he watches the cave.
Fair. Horace needs a chaperone now.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, yes, I've got 2 small flashlights, my tuxedo as usual, a couple more flares just in case, and matches and cigarettes in the boot of my car.
Okay.
How
so-
far are we from the vehicle?
About 15-minute walk.
Half-hour round trip. I'll be right back, and Raymond will just walk off into the night in the direction that that the car is.
Thomas, do you want to maybe accompany him?
I'd kind of committed to this cave, to be honest, but yeah, go on then. No, I'll go with Fox.
Horace, you can roll me a listen. Given that is specifically what you are doing, was listening to the
Yeah.
game.
I was hoping my new improved listen. I'll take a few steps in if I feel like there should be something there, and try and listen a little bit harder.
Excellent.
And that's a hard success.
What could possibly go wrong?
You hear it's faint. And you're not. It's weird because it's kind of like the echo, but it sounds almost like there's a record player deep in there that's stuck running without a record.
Step back out, humming It Had to Be You.
What are you doing? Horace, Mr. Young, why that specific tune? What do you hear?
That the tune should be played.
Not that one.
Perhaps was to say. Those lenses you were toying with, Dr. Palmer,
Yes?
do they function? If so, what function do they serve?
They're used to visualize certain vibrations and interactions between things. In short, it looks like it helped someone see, in effect, some other force. It's almost like magnetism, but it's not. It's almost etheric or something. But that's too mystical. But there's something there that they're able to see through the refraction of light. But then when you all came, things became easier to see.
Might I see those lenses?
Um, to be careful, please.
Of course, of course.
Yeah, she gives you a lens.
He would like to look through it at his own hand.
Okay, it is much like before, in that you are able to see the bones, the muscles, the nerves, the pumping of the blood. You can see the flow of liquid through it. You can see something stretching back into like an infinite distance of wherever you're looking through your hand to some other place or thing. But now looking through the hand, everything has an odd, almost like a sheen to it, almost like there's a faint shimmer, not unlike oil, like that thin bit of oil or gasoline on top of water.
Doctor, this is remarkable. How is it you've devised this?
Well, it's been subject to my research and looking into different astronomical effects and waves and stuff and the like. And then it just became a matter of extending some of the ideas of optics and trying to figure out if we could use certain curves and materials together in order to basically it's almost like a prism. Are you familiar with prisms?
Indeed.
How you can direct light in them and then it breaks it out into a bunch of colors, and this is not dissimilar.
Does it exploits some form of chromatic aberration?
Well,
To separate the natural light from unnatural.
how would there be unnatural light?
Light that is not natural to this world, that may be natural to others.
Well, if that's the case, it's not, again, it's not quite light. It's something else that it's letting you see. It's something else that is adjusted through.
Fascinating. Turn the lens towards the cave.
The shimmer, you want to say it's the word that springs to mind is almost thicker.
Mhm.
There, and as you watch, it seems to almost throb every few moments, and pretty quickly you realize that your pulse has synchronized with it. And it's very steady and just bum bum
How
bum
deep
bum.
does it appear to be? How far back into the cave?
Goes into darkness.
Okay, so it just trails.
Yep.
Does it seem like it gets thicker as it goes along? So the deeper in it goes, the thicker it gets. Can I see any kind of gradient? Or is it just thicker there, less thick outside?
It's kind of like looking into fog, in that how much you could you cannot see through, you cannot fully see through it. So just looking at it makes it more difficult to judge distance, more difficult to judge depth of things.
Does this phenomenon fit with anything I've read about to this point? Would any of the mathematical theorems match with this kind of not light?
You can certainly roll for it, and note that if you were to share your observations with the professor, he has some other takes on this as well.
Right. What would I be rolling?
Mythos.
Lovely. Hard success.
There are a few different things you'd read about, and they've been all references to older myths. The Celts, the Vikings, have various mists that one can travel through and end up in impossible places. A number of North American tribes have similar ideas, and well, there's certainly an aspect of it that's just one can get lost in the fog. From your research and reading into it, the mathematical equations and the work of something you read, we're looking into that as well, and they seem to believe that there was some mist or some they referred to it as like a gaseous vapor or whatever, that was some sort of either like a world substrate or some sort of alchemical product. It was believed to be, a number of researchers, tied to the stuff between places.
Mhm.
So an easier way to look at it might be, according to that what you read, this is some of the stuff that the Leviathan swims through.
A hole which has not been patched. A leak in the boat below the waterline.
What are you going on about, Mr. Young?
Not entirely certain. But we should prepare to be just as blind with torches as without.
So you do see something with the device?
Oh, ever much so. He'll hand you the lens.
Well, what is it then? And I will look through the lens.
You see much the same. And with your focus more on the folklore and mythology side of it, you're also reminded of John Dee, who was a magic user who did a lot of work trying to wed Christianity with various forms of magic. And he often would talk about getting messages either through pools of water or mists or the like.
Yes, something is most certainly, if not unique, special about this place at this time.
Liminal fog, I believe, would be a concise term.
A reflection of heaven and hell, perhaps?
Or purgatory. A place which is, but which does not relate to other place or time.
A reflection of the parts of creation we were never meant to experience this side of death. I would venture to guess.
Wait, are we all dead?
It depends on how you look at it.
Oh,
From the
man, I just...
I don't believe so, Olive. I simply mean that before we transcend, before we reach the heavenly gates, I don't believe that we were ever meant to experience what it is that is happening here in this place.
And yet experience it we do.
So what does that mean for us when we die, if we're not already dead?
Then it won't be quite so surprising, will it?
What is taking Raymond and Tommy so long?
So you can hang out just for a few more minutes for them to finish coming back. There's something else for you to determine. Lori's getting antsy, whereas Palmer tries to get her lenses back.
My apologies. Here
And
you are.
quickly begins. She has her lantern down, and she's going back and forth between looking through them and taking notes and jotting. Starts pacing the ground, and like she'll pace 5 paces one way, and she'll turn and look at it again, and then takes notes, and seems to be approaching it very scientifically.
Horace will try to tap out the rhythm of the pulsing in the mist, like try and keep it, however he can, not being able to see it anymore. Just wait by the mouth of the cave.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
Raymond and Tommy will walk. You'll hear them before you see them coming. And Raymond will be saying, Tommy, why would I keep a shovel in the trunk of my car? I don't dig holes.
Always. It's just one of those items. It's better to have it and not need it. All right? Because when you need it, you need it.
All right, I'll
It's the same
pick
with
one
the
up.
sack. Olive's right about the rope. I'll get you a list. There's a whole kit that you should just have about. I need a new set as well.
All right. Tomorrow, after we're done at getting you and Horace some new clothes, we'll stop by some kind of general store or something and pick up a kit for the back of my car.
We should split it across a few stores. It's just looks better.
Okay. 2 flashlights, as desired. Raymond will turn them both on and point them at the ground. Ha-ha!
Perhaps we should have one at the back and one at the front.
Yes, what order, again, are we entering this cave?
I will be here at the rear with Laurie and, if you don't mind, the professor as well.
Oh, they're coming in with us.
I am under the impression that there's nothing that we could say or do to dissuade them from such foolishness, yes.
Laurie looks at you. You said I would stay out here. That's what we agreed to. I need to make sure someone calls somebody if you don't make your way out again.
My apologies. In all of the excitement, I had forgotten. Good, wonderful.
In that case, would you consider bequeathing one of your precious lenses for exploration within?
They have a quick back and forth, and then they give you one.
Excellent. It would not behoove us to be blind to that which the light cannot show us. Thank you. I shall see that this is returned in much the state it is received.
So did I miss anything spooky?
What was that?
Did I miss anything spooky?
We're all dead.
Oh.
So nothing matters.
When did that happen?
We are able to experience and see in much the same way as we did in New York City. The emanations of that realm which is beyond the physical. Using the professor's device and this a very frustrating tapping that Mr. Young continues to perpetuate has something to do with it as well, I assume.
At this point, sometimes I actually think I just want you to lie.
It's not in my nature, Thomas. I apologize. But you could always not ask the question.
All right, Olive. Ladies first. I'll follow.
Okay.
Horace will go after the two of them.
Yeah.
Tommy, here's a flashlight for you. I presume, Olive, you're going to need both hands to handle the bat.
Well, I mean, one is a bat, and then I have the second mini bat if I have the flashlight in the other hand. So really, it's like 2 weapons in one.
Okay. Yes. Here's a flashlight then, but please know that the mini bat is single use.
Okay.
It will
So,
break if you hit
mini
someone
bat-
with it.
Well,
If you hit someone with it, it will break.
that is a very good point. Okay, Tommy, just like reach back. Who's behind me? Is Tommy or Horace behind me?
Yeah, I'm behind you, but I'm
Okay.
now, I guess,
Oh,
torch,
okay.
rifle.
Well, okay.
I'm fine with
kind of
it.
like.
Let's go.
Yeah, okay,
I
yeah.
can
I'll
hold
just
both
hold it.
flashlights. It's fine.
I
No,
am
no, I
comfortable
got it, I
holding
got it.
one. I can.
No, I walked
use
all that
my-
way. I'll take the flashlight.
I can. All right.
All right, Tommy, flashlight for you. Professor, flashlight for you.
All right. Flashlight in one hand and revolver in the other. Then.
So all falling behind Olive. Olive, do you want to make a spot hidden?
What?
Just so everyone remembers, my flashlight is now dancing all over the place.
Oh my gosh! Why did you...
Professor, I've changed my mind. Give it back.
But perhaps that's best, Raymond.
Yeah, so Olive, you lead the way. It's a few minutes of walking and a little bit of weaving. It's a roughly straight path, but not directly, not like straight as an arrow. And you eventually end up in a quite large, roundish cavern. There are 2 additional openings that seem to go further. The floor's covered in dirt, dust. There's evidence of the skeletons and detritus of some small animals, squirrels, mice, that sort of things. And it's got that musty, very slight hints of mold and fungus scents that slightly damp caves get.
Along the way, did we... were we relatively successful at not making a bunch of noise? And did we see anything with our flashlights?
I've told you everything you've seen.
All right.
What do we do from now?
Are we at the end of the cave? Is there nowhere else to
There
traverse?
are 2 further tunnels that go off of it.
If I look through the lens, can I see which path the sheen is deepest in?
Roll me a spot hidden.
If I step like past Olive, a short ways down one of the pathways, can I try again?
Sure.
No. Okay.
So who has the torches again? It was Tommy and Olive?
I believe it was Olive and
Raymond. Yeah.
Olive and
Yeah.
Raymond.
If we seem lost, the professor would actually begin to quietly pray under his breath for guidance and attempt to suss out a pathway through his sense of God's guiding. I don't know if there's a role I could make for that or not, but he's doing it nonetheless.
I do have something to resolve for you before then, which you may interpret as
enough.
God's guidance.
Fair enough.
As we do have to resolve that pushed roll. And I was just taking a couple of quick notes to make sure some things...
Yeah, bye guys.
Oh,
We're-
no.
I expect we won't be seeing each other for a while. If
again.
my hunch is correct here, it's gonna be a while.
As Horace steps down the path and hears the crumpling and cracking, and you all see the area that he's standing on just collapses down. And Horace goes tumbling into the darkness down
Mr.
that.
Young! I will immediately rush forward and see if I can reach it.
Yeah, hold on.
Wait, hold on.
Would you like to roll me a Constitution roll, Horace?
Yeah.
To make it all this way just to fall in a hole.
It's not in a hole. It's as he walked a little bit down one of the paths, stuff collapsed, and he went tumbling
it's a new
down.
hole. It's a new hole.
Not a new hole. More of, imagine that it was a tunnel, and you walked into the tunnel, and the tunnel normally goes down a little bit over time. And you went, and all of a sudden it collapsed, and now it goes down steeply.
Right. Oh, okay.
So he made a slide.
I made a slide.
Yeah.
Well, not unlike a slide.
Except for the rocks, I assume, that are hitting me in the head at this point.
Yeah,
And
rock
waiting at
slide.
the bottom.
Are you hitting the rocks in the head? Are the rocks hitting you in the head?
Who's
These
to
are the
say?
questions we need to ask.
Both?
Yeah.
Either way, I have a concussion.
Well,
But so do the rocks.
yeah.
Yeah, their cognitive capacity has reduced significantly as well. That is correct. They can't even talk anymore.
You do get away with only 4 hit points of damage.
Oh, that's
Only
fine.
4?
Is that all?
That's not an only.
So let's see. I got them all back, right? Why am I?
Yep.
Why does my sheet say 6 out of 8? I haven't lost any. I didn't lose any last week, did I?
Nope.
Okay.
Your sheet
I'm
just
guessing-
wasn't updated.
So I just didn't update that properly.
Yeah.
Okay. So now at 4. Awesome.
Which I don't believe is a major wound for you.
It is.
It is.
Yes, 4 is.
Another
the
con roll.
Oh, nice. I'm good at those.
The best at them.
I'm fantastic at those. That's an extreme success.
I was gonna say nothing's hurt us more than falling so far.
You are conscious. You do not have a concussion. You don't have that major wound. You're not thrilled with the state of affairs. Almost everything hurts. You can see the flickering lights about 30, 40 feet up this new slide you've created. Roll me a luck.
Oh,
Mr. Young!
Yes.
Young!
You didn't break the lens.
ooh, good.
That was the bit I was worried about.
So those at the top can look down and see this is, if you're careful, this isn't that hard to get down. You just got to be careful and slow, and part of it's going to be kind of scooting on your butt and like the slow lowering. And climbing up would be similarly. Given enough time and there's enough of you, that's not going to be a problem.
I suppose this is one of those times, Thomas, that a rope would have been useful, hey?
I can't tell you the amount of times.
Does anyone have a rope?
Can
Are
we
you
hear
all
him?
right? Yeah, good question. Can we hear him?
Yep. It's only 40 feet away.
Okay.
Horace, you breathing, buddy? Buddy?
Better than I deserve. Not so good as I'd like.
All right.
Is there anything
probably-
down there?
Good question.
You don't have a torch.
If I look through the lens, can I see anything?
Lens still requires light.
Okay.
You
that
do
was
not
going to be
see.
a question that I had.
You do not see anything other than just more darkness.
Awesome. Do
It's
I
pretty
hear
close to
anything?
pitch black.
Do I hear anything?
There's someone laughing down the cavern behind you.
Does the cavern sound very echoing? Or like I'm still in a tunnel, or like things open up around me?
Roll me a listen.
Oh!
I'm not going to go farther in to listen.
It echoes and it reverberates, but it also sounds like it's right next to you, so you don't know.
Can you even push a critical failure?
Yeah.
You can? Okay. Okay. I wasn't sure mechanically if that was allowed.
I mean, I'm not going to. It didn't work last time.
No, fair. Your rolls have not been fantastic.
I'm in a precarious enough position. Even I can recognize that.
RNGesus says that eventually you'll roll well, but
Look, the law of averages says that I've had some really, really good rolls, and I need to have some really, really bad ones to balance back out.
It's not how that works, but
That's exactly how the law of averages works.
Team
It will
top of-
eventually average out.
Team top of the new slide.
All right. Well,
did
please
you
get back to
respond
him.
back to us? Did Horace let us know the situation?
At the moment, Horace has gone silent.
Yeah, I'd imagine that.
Okay. Mr. Young!
Shush!
Raymond is gonna
Quiet.
Raymond gonna take one of the torches and start examining the room that we're in up at the top of the slide, and
Oh,
examine
fuck this.
the room.
I don't
I'm
like
gonna
the different
slide
laughs
down.
I'm hearing.
I actually.
You're just gonna go for it?
Yeah, he's down there defenseless and in the
Yeah,
dark. So you guys
I'm-
have one torch, so I'm sliding down. And
I-
I'll leave you guys to investigate.
Oh yeah, I'm a medic, so I actually
Fair.
do want to go.
Fair. Head
Leave a
down
torch
there.
behind, Tommy. Or no, you don't have a torch.
Raymond
Okay.
has the other one.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Can Horace hide?
I mean,
Well, this is
sure.
I mean, you literally can't see anything, so first you have to
You're
find
in the dark.
something to hide. Right.
right. Can I like nearby? Is there like a rock or something I can duck behind or crouch near? Yeah. Can I put my hands over my eyes if I can't see them?
You don't need another luck roll, Horace, as you're just kind of pawing around in the dark.
Oh no.
See,
Horace.
that's not how that works. Exactly how the law of averages works. Or no, the central limit theory. No, that's something different.
You paw around, and remind me what Horace's first aid and medicine are. You don't need to roll them. Just what are they like?
First aid's 30. Medicine, I think, is 1.
You're feeling about, and it seems like this area is a bit more open. And then as you're feeling, you feel what feels like a broken piece of wood. And then you feel like other pieces of wood. You catch yourself with a splinter. And then you feel something that is... It's cold. And it's not stone. But it's dry.
Nope, heading in the opposite direction. Back towards where the new slide is.
Okay.
As quietly as possible.
Olive comes sliding down, setting off another small avalanche of pebbles.
As soon as she gets down, Horace would like to meet her with hand over mouth, switch off the flashlight if it's on.
Okay.
It was on. I would have
Yeah.
slid down and like,
Snap that off,
okay.
hand over mouth.
I can't see you doing that, so
Oh, yeah.
I'll just be like,
Hey, nothing.
just kind of nod my head.
Back up.
I would kind of push you in front of me and push you. No, like to go up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. Like I
I'm
want to
thinking you're like, you come
up.
down,
No.
you're facing away, you're pushing you.
No, like I would like pull your body in front of mine because I don't know what's going on and just push you up before me up the slide.
Tommy's coming down still.
Yeah. I'm sliding down
yeah.
the slide. Sorry, guys. Crash.
Tommy?
As Tommy was coming down, and the light goes out, and Tommy's
Yeah.
like,
So can I
You're gonna
reach
handle
out for Tommy and like
Yep.
slap my hand over his mouth? Okay. And then when I do that, I'll lean over to Tommy and like kind of pry off, or just I don't know. Do you take your hand off Horace at some point? Okay.
Once she affirms, then
Okay. And then I'll lean over to Tommy and whisper in his ear, "Get back upstairs." Or up the fucking slide. I don't know what the fuck to call it. And then just shove you guys up.
Don't need to tell me twice. Just
Horace, did you hold on to and keep the cool dry thing you put your hand around?
Was it of a size that I could pick it up?
Oh yeah, you could have your hand all the way around it.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, cool. So, Dr. Ruben Fox, you were up at the top looking around with Professor Herbert Devenald.
In fact, I think looking around the room with this little torch is not quite enough, so I think I am going to pop one of my flares to light this room.
And as he is doing that examination, it has suddenly occurred to me that no one is paying any attention to the other pathway, and I am going to start watching it carefully.
Okay. Yeah. The room's lit with a red glow, and you can see that the ground is covered in dust and detritus and leavings that are long desiccated. But between the bits of dust, you can almost see that there's like the floor. There's hints that the floor is not just a bare cave floor. And as you start to kick it, like kick the dust and stuff out of the way, you actually there's these great big stones. I want to call them tiles because of how big they are, but it seems like the floor is made of these honking big stones, and I'm talking like 2-3 feet by 2-3 feet of heavy dark granite. It looks like, and you can basically only tell because of the seams between them. And it just looks like it's a what's the name of that pattern where it's like there are slightly smaller ones in the middle and then slightly bigger ones, and it's circles, but it's not like a spiral. So there's like slightly smaller ones in the middle.
Is it concentric? Like, or is it?
I think
like
it's concentric is what we're looking for. Here, I can draw. And it's like that. Bop, 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 bop. And then around it are bigger ones. Does that make sense?
Ah, there it is.
Okay, yeah.
That looks too much like an eye.
I want to investigate the center of this thing. I don't want to step on it, but I want to just like follow the size as they shrink and like find my way to the middle.
Sure. That's no problem at all. So you're checking that, and then you see Tommy clambers up and then turns and grabs Horace's forearm and helps haul him up, and you see Horace climbs up with a thigh bone in one hand.
Oh,
a human femur.
What on earth?
Is Olive behind us?
Yeah, then Olive is clambering up behind.
All right. I'm going to ask you about the thigh bone in a second, but are you all right? Where's injured? I kind of like give Horace a once over, if that's all right. Check his injuries.
Yeah, first aid him.
Oh, yeah.
Horace can recover 1d3 hit points.
Hey.
Ooh. How's he looking?
Depends how those 1d3 goes. 3.
Ooh, 3.
Lots of bangs and scrapes. You've had to bandage up a few lacerations that could have gotten infected, or running around in a cave here might get worse. But you've managed to bandage him up quite a bit, give him a slug of something, and pretty quickly the color comes back into Horace's face, especially once you rub the dust off of it.
Horace, I know you like to find yourself in trouble a lot of the time, but now is not the time to wander off into creepy caves by yourself.
He's looking through the lens at the femur.
At the femur?
That I guess he's holding.
Yeah. So the rest of the room still looks like it's filled with this shimmering, oily fog stuff. And it just looks like a normal femur.
Professor.
Right.
He'll toss it back down the new slide.
Okay.
Well, that's
You managed to find
Probably
your way to the center, and it's just a stone in the center.
I'll examine it and, kind of wipe it, see if there's anything on it. And if I discover that it's just a plain stone, I'll call out to those. Everyone, I've been looking at the ground, and there's some sort of pattern with the stones in this cave floor. It's not. I mean, do caves generally come with tiling?
Not typically.
What does him examining the stone result in?
It's a circular stone tile about a foot across.
Okay.
In diameter, I should say, because it's a circle.
Well, not naturally occurring caves for the most part, unless humanity has in some way altered them. Do you believe that is what you're seeing?
Here, Professor, look at them. Here, I'll take the flare. And what are you doing over by the mouth to the tunnel?
I'm protecting us from anything that might come up that direction.
Oh, good idea. Yes.
just
Yeah, go ahead.
just quickly. Oh no, I'm cutting in. Just quickly, Horace. Why are we not down there? You look terrified coming up.
There are, because you not hear them.
I didn't hear anything. I was just trying to get down.
Olive, surely you must have.
Them? Nope.
The laughter.
Yeah, no.
They didn't, right? Or did they?
I put murmuring on when they were down there of a lot of people talking.
Oh shit. Yeah, actually,
Okay, yeah.
there's a lot going down on that side of the tunnel.
Did you see anything?
Well, I wasn't allowed to turn on my flashlight, but
Oh,
you know what? I think we should just try something. I'm gonna grab a stone, and I'm gonna
Just like a rock.
throw it. Yeah, just a rock.
Okay.
And I'm gonna throw it down the tunnel, and see if like the sound of the impact sounds like it's not hitting other stone.
Which tunnel?
The one that we slid down.
Okay.
New slide.
Yeah, slide tunnel.
Okay.
So you throw it,
Hmm.
and you hear the cluck, cluck, cluck of it, like connecting with stone below, and then it kind of bounces and skitters into the darkness.
Okay,
do you want to throw a flare?
it's a good way to say flare.
Should we announce ourselves so obviously?
Such was my determination that we should not
On
pay
it.
more attention to ourselves than necessary.
They know we're
Honestly, and I'm
here.
lifting up my rifle. Oh, have we not been announcing ourselves this entire time?
Well, perhaps.
I would like to, while everybody's contemplating the next move, I want to take a couple of stones and pebbles, and I want to put it in like the mouth of the second cave, so that if somebody were to, while we investigate this cavern or whatever, if someone were to walk into this area, we maybe hear them like.
Yeah,
Kick
you
the
want it
stone
so
away, yeah.
they would probably knock it over, and you'd hear
Yes.
rocks, and maybe
Exactly.
someone stumbling.
And then
Cool.
once I set that up, I want to go to the second slide tunnel and just
Okay,
stand
to
guard.
the one that the professor was staring at. That's all I wanted
Yeah.
to confirm.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, that's no problem for you to set up.
I think we need to look into the floor more. This is unusual. And Raven will go and examine the outer edge of the circle.
Yeah, there is a half a centimeter, so not even a quarter of an inch. Little gap between the edges of the tile and the floors of the cave. Now that you're looking, you actually see that this room is not perfectly circular, but it's quite circular. But the walls all look formed through natural processes.
Is the tile made of the same material as the rest of the cave?
It's close enough that you're not gonna get any information with a roll of some kind. It's not like obviously marble or something.
Certainly. I would call Thomas over. You've got some experience with archaeological digs and such, don't you, my lad?
Yeah, but I'm much more like this way to the gold kind of thing. I can help you have a look.
Does this look particularly old to your eye, or is this a new development, do you believe?
I'll have a look, but what would I be using for that, Tyler?
I would allow an archaeology. I would allow a natural world roll. Just pulling up the list of skills.
Yeah, I think it's gonna have to be natural worlds.
Yeah, so this is not, they're both granites. The floors are not the same kind of granite. It is a bit darker. And it's hard, you kind of have to chip at the other stone because this would have been worked versus unworked is going to have grime and stuff over it. So it's going to make it harder to tell. And you kind of, you do some investigating, and it's not, the flooring granite is not the same. It's the same kind of stone, but it is not the same stone.
So it's like maybe it's been made, it's formed in a different place and been brought here.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah, no, there's something about this. This was intentionally put here. Now, I'm not working on the assumption this is a natural cave, but this flooring here was put here by someone. This was worked, and this was brought here somewhere else. This wasn't just carved into the rock willy-nilly. This was intentionally put here.
It doesn't make very much sense to lay down decorative flooring in a place like this. There must be purpose to it as well, I would assume.
I really wanted to try and avoid cults this time.
I'm also going to point out that these stones, the widest ones are 3-4 feet wide, and the entryway is 3-4 feet wide.
So it would have just fit, or
it would have just fit, but these are huge wonkin pieces of stone. It wouldn't be, would not be a fun way to do it.
So they must have come in some other way.
I don't know, people lifted rocks across the UK to stick up Stonehenge. Maybe it was important. Maybe it was just important to use these rocks to do whatever.
Perhaps they didn't come in from outside.
How high is the ceiling?
They could have come up from below.
He said it was approximately 6 or so feet tall.
On the cave on the way in, the cavern opened up quite a bit more.
I see.
You look up, and 20-30 feet.
I wonder if it's sort of could it be sort of an X marks the spot situation? I'm going to take the butt of my shotgun and tap on each of the stones individually all the way down the line. Do any of them sound differently?
Nope.
Do we hear anything in general if, like, Raymond sits quietly as the professor taps around and just listens to the cave?
Sure, roll me a listen.
Yeah.
Horace, I'm guessing you didn't keep any of that dust.
What dust?
I don't believe we should respond to all of our problems by moving into different timelines.
Why can't I roll a listen?
What are you two talking about? What do you mean, moving into different timelines?
When we allegedly were in 1925, we went to Edmund's house and
Thank
used the signal that we found under the rug. That's how we got back. I was kind of hoping to stay away from strange carvings on the floor, but maybe that's why I'm thinking maybe this is used for some kind of cultish purpose.
Oh, here it comes.
You are experiencing Roll20 lag. It is a powerful spell that often affects us when many people are using Roll20 at the same time.
I don't like it, Professor.
And it is customary to take the middle roll of all of them, right? That's how that works.
I don't want to average the rolls.
No, not the average, the median.
I'll take the one Tyler rolled for me.
The audio is playing.
All I hear is creepy music.
And rumbling.
Yeah, there's that rumbling.
But now I hear it.
Is that getting louder?
Do we hear it at some point, or does just Raymond hear it?
Well, if Raymond points it out,
Yeah.
everyone's
Shh. Listen, quiet.
Out, everyone out.
Right.
What on earth is that?
Wait a minute.
Horace, are you running for the exit then, I take it?
He's gonna try to get other people to go, but if no one's moving...
Where's it coming from?
No, I'm going to hold fire a sec. Is that coming from above or below?
Below.
Down the slide?
Or directly below.
All right, give me the flare.
Ear to the ground. Yeah, here you go, Tommy. And then Raymond
No,
will put his...
use the matches. Don't waste the flare.
Yes.
The flare's already lit.
Go out by throwing a match.
Okay. Well, you can still see.
No, one flare's already lit.
Oh, great.
Oh.
Had one that's been ongoing.
Wait, so I'll use the already lit one.
I do need to resolve one quick thing before that. Horace,
Okay.
are you hanging out if no one goes with you?
Yes.
Okay.
He's gonna like everybody out, but then if no one else
goes out, cool. That's
he's not
yep.
going.
I'm just checking. So you toss it down there, down the slide.
Yeah.
Easy throw. It clatters down. You see at the base of the slide area a bunch of pieces of broken old wood. It looks like it was once a frame, perhaps holding some stones in place, perhaps holding some stones in something resembling a staircase. They look heavily splintered and broken up. There is a skeleton at the foot of the slide out a couple of feet, missing a femur. And you can also roll me a spot hidden.
I was gonna say, regardless of this roll, I would like to start shimmying my way back down the step ramp. It's just like, all right, I'm just at least gonna check that body.
Yeah. So because you're going close, you don't have to, you'll get what the spot hidden roll would have gotten you anyways, just from up top. As you get down, it's easy peasy to do so, as long as you're just taking a little bit of your time. Like, it's not slow, but it's a little bit of time, right? And you get to the body. There are, they look like small human footprints and everything's red because it's a flare.
Yeah.
So they look like a dark something color, whether it's mud or whatever, and they start underneath what's now wreckage of stone and stuff, and go down the tunnel ahead of you.
Okay. The body though, can I tell? I kind of like. I'd like to check how fresh the footprints are, and B, can I tell anything about the body, like how long it's been there? I appreciate it's like a skeleton now, but rough idea of how long it's been there. Rough
Even the
approximation
clothes,
of.
even
Huh?
the clothes are even any clothes or any
Ooh.
effects are gone to dust.
Ooh.
It's been a while. It's been, you can't say for certain without knowing how often wolves or anything are getting in here, but you also don't see any marks of like wolves going at it.
Yeah, there's nothing missing apart from the femur, which is behind me because it got thrown down the.
Yeah, you can do a medicine roll on that.
I don't think he's getting any better.
Or not medicine, first aid.
Ooh,
Get more
good. I was
information.
going to say, I apparently didn't know medicine was a skill. I gave myself a 1 in that, despite being a medic.
Medicine in the era is more of like cutting edge stuff.
I will spend that luck, please.
Spend that luck?
Yeah. So that's 9 points of luck.
So you're looking over the body, and you find there's no obvious cause of death, but it's bones, so you wouldn't see a lot of things. But there's no broken in skull. There's no obviously broken bones. But as you're investigating the body, you start to find little nicks on first on the ribs, and then you notice, and as you look over, there's all these little nicks on the bones all over the body.
Are they like? Oh, sorry, Karen.
No, go for it.
Are they like? Do they seem semi-random, or does it seem like there's a kind of purpose to?
There's definitely a purpose. It reminds you a little bit of on the front when you were pulled back from the front, but you were still deployed. So you would have been a couple kilometers back, getting some rest and recuperation. By some luck, you remember a couple of the guys went out hunting. They got some rabbits, and none of you were great at butchering, right? So when you do that, you nick the bone a lot as you're trying to get every single piece of meat off of it.
And I will return to my original question. How fresh were those footprints?
Well, they are heckin' dry. They were left behind from some sort of liquid that is well and thoroughly dried now.
Hello?
Yes, Tommy?
I don't respond to that.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of wait a second. Back up the tunnel, back up the tunnel, back up the tunnel.
Did the sound stop? Raymond, do you still hear it?
Do I?
Nope.
It is no. It stopped.
Thomas, what did you do?
Oh, so there's a body down there. I think whatever used to be here, let's come back to that used. Something a long time ago ate this body. Someone, a person, although small, had little footprints.
You saw tooth marks on the bones? I don't understand.
Sort of like it looked like someone had made effort to get the flesh off the bones, but clumsily.
Butcher marks.
Exactly.
Boris, did you still want to leave the tunnels? Because I think I'm good with that plan.
If Mary is down here, she isn't the one who ate that person. If they're as old as Thomas says they are,
Yeah, I don't think she was the one that got ate either.
what if she's a next meal for whatever remains in this place?
I'd say that's being pretty optimistic. But So I shouted, I kind of announced myself.
Yes, we heard you.
The rumbling stopped.
Oh, yes.
So I'm starting to think whatever's down here may be less all-powerful than we think.
Can I shine the flashlight down the other tunnel?
Yeah. It goes a little bit, and then it looks like it takes a pretty sharp turn about 6-7 feet in.
Okay, so there's a body in that tunnel, so we probably don't want to investigate that. This room has freaky floors. Don't know what that all means. So either we, go back out of this cave altogether and pretend we saw nothing here, or if we're really just like, you know what, we're already dead, nothing matters, we can try this other tunnel very carefully.
I'm afraid that if we don't continue, that Dolores will feel obligated to do so. So I, for one, cannot leave in good conscience.
I actually vote down here and point down the stairs. I think down there is the most likely place we're going to find anything occupying this tunnel.
I would hate for something to come up behind us. In either case, shouldn't we at least look around the corner there?
How big can this cave system get?
There are some very large caverns around the world, I've been told.
I think we know for certain that there is someone down there, or a number of people. If we wish not to have someone come up behind us, it is best to go at them head first.
But we don't know that this other cave doesn't lead to wherever it is that cave leads to in a less precarious fashion. I was praying quite fiercely about guidance when you stepped forward, Mr. Young, and, well, I'm not really sure what to make of the floor suddenly collapsing underneath you, but it does seem like a sign, a bit. Danger ahead, perhaps?
Or perhaps it was simply escalating my journey to wherever it is we need to go.
All right, decision-making time, guys. Up or down? I'm going down.
Can we... Olive, can I please... May I borrow the torch?
Yeah, sure. I'll hand you the torch.
I'm going to go look around the corner.
Does the floor... Professor, shine the light on the floor before you go. I fear that it is unstable like the other.
Oh, quite wise.
Well, here, I'll hand you my baseball bat. Like, I'll hand it out because I know your hands are full. Maybe if you use this to push weight onto the floor you're about to walk onto.
Keep your bat, Olive. I'll use the butt of my shotgun.
Okay.
I will test the floor as I go.
10-foot pole.
Yes, I haven't had
that's on the
need of
list.
one of
In the
those
olden
for a
days
long
of treasure
time.
hunting.
Yes.
So you head around the corner. You look into it opens to another bit of a cavern, not as large as the one you just came from. But you do see what looks like a woman's clutch on the ground, and its contents look like they've been scattered about the room.
There's a woman's handbag in here. I will step to the entrance of the new cavern and look around. Is there anything else?
2 more tunnels branch off of it. It is tidier than the one you came from.
Tidier. How do you mean?
Less dust, less animal corpses. There appears to be some feminine sundries scattered across the floor. There's a whistle,
Like a police
little-
whistle? Like, yeah.
almost that kind of thing.
Okay. Can we all please take a moment? I think I may have found sign of Mary, certainly of someone here, much more recent than the body we found at the bottom of that hole. And I will, as soon as they come around the corner, if anyone comes around the corner, I will proceed into the room as soon as I see someone.
Yeah, Raymond will follow the professor.
Horace as well.
I'll stay back and keep my eye on the other slide tunnel.
Did we just leave Olive and Tommy in the dark? Because I have her flashlight.
Oh, yes. I'll
Oh, and yeah. So the room would be lit by some of the flare light coming up from
Wow.
beneath.
That's all they need, right?
So it's
So they
just a
just need to
dark
see if
room with
something
the
comes from
fires of
there.
hell coming up from a hole in the ground.
Yeah. I didn't do this.
Yeah.
Well,
And
look
I'm
at
going to
it.
keep my gun firmly pointed on the hells of the deep. So
Yeah, cool.
Look at it this way. 1, it makes for better fan art. 2, that's all they need to see if they're looking down that tunnel, right? It's efficient.
Yeah.
Okay. All
They
right.
don't need to have extra lights on. They just waste electricity.
So I will immediately walk up to the handbag and the accoutrements that are spread around it and see if I can determine anything specific or useful from them.
From the stuff that's been scattered about, you don't find much. Flipping through the purse, you do find
A dog.
a scrap of paper that has W-E lowercase H-I-D-A-M scrawled on it in pencil.
Only the H is lowercased.
Correct. And a piece of paper you quite recognize, which is an invitation to the grand opening of the Black Rabbit.
Do either of you gentlemen have any idea what this means? And I will hand the first piece of paper to Horace and Raymond. This one I'm quite familiar with, and I will make it clear that I have an invitation to the Black Rabbit.
C-H-M-D-A-M.
W-E-H-L-D-A-M.
I.
Aye.
I.
It is an I. It is an
Oh.
I. Yes.
Horace, it matches a carving you found. As we were saying before, we were so rudely interrupted by terrifying beings from beyond time and space trying to interrupt our broadcast. Horace Young had seen the word that it's translated from previously in a carving, which was in their handouts.
Yes. Now,
Yeah, there we go. Okay, it is coming up. Stuff's trying to load.
wait,
There it
where
is.
did I see the carving?
Let me double check where you saw it.
I remember fussing with this also.
It was in Edmund's apartment.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Under the carpet, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Except it's not quite the same.
What do you mean?
The carving before was WEIDAM.
This is a translation.
Ah,
The piece of paper would be a translation because you also had the
cipher.
coding cipher.
right.
Which when you run it through, and you know that some of those are
Ah, EH. Yes, I see.
it could also be Vaidam
Mm-hmm.
and some other bits in there. But whoever had it thought it was that.
What on earth does it mean? Is it another language? It's not one I recognize.
Vaidam. I don't know.
Well, merry or otherwise, I think we can be assured that someone from that night was here, perhaps still is. I'm going to go check both of these passages here on the other end of this cavern. Can one of you please let Olive and Thomas know what we found?
Yes, I'll go tell them. And Raymond will go back into the other chamber. Olive, Tommy, the professor has discovered, well, a handbag, and he thinks it's Mary's, and he's going further in. Would you come with us, please?
Oh,
You know, the professor's very
Yes.
headstrong.
yeah, okay. I want to pick up a rock,
Mhm.
and if I scratch the rock across the wall, does it leave kind of like, you know, when you brush a rock against a rock, it'll leave like a white streak, white mark?
Mhm.
Does it do that? Okay.
Mhm.
So as we head down every tunnel, I want to be marking the right side of what we're walking down every step of the way. Not like dragging it along. That would probably make too much noise, but just like, you know, just a mark here and there,
At every decision
keeping it on my
point.
right side. Yeah.
I thought you were going to throw another rock down, to be honest.
At every so I just want to make sure I'm following this properly.
Yep.
So, for example, when you leave that first cavern, we're gonna call it the circle room.
Okay.
When you leave the circle room, you're kind of along the right, kind of as you go through the doorway.
Yeah, you know, actually what I'll do, because I don't trust anything anymore. So I'm going to do every 5 steps, I mark the wall.
Okay.
And then if we get at a decision where, for example, we have to turn right, I'll start at the beginning. And then every 5 steps, I'll mark on the wall.
Right before we leave, I would like to take one last look at the Hellfire, please.
Sure.
Just do a last, like, listen out or look, or just make sure there's nothing coming from that way.
You look down, and the flare starts to gutter, 'cause it's been going for a bit, and goes out, but you see nothing.
All right. Well, let's hope I was wrong about before. And after you two.
So, the professor,
Yes.
when you walk in to this room with the purse, both of the exits, like both the tunnels, are both on your left, actually.
I see.
One is like a very tight turn, and it actually goes up a bit, and the other one is about almost 9. It's almost directly to your. It's
Left.
almost a 90-degree turn, is what I'm trying to say,
Yes.
and appears to go straight.
How large is this room?
This one,
The one that we're in now?
yeah, about a little less than half the size of the big circle room you entered in.
And the passageway that ascends.
Mm-hmm.
How far can I see along that route with the torch?
With the torch, yeah, you light up. It actually, you can see with the torch onto it that it is. There are pieces of wood that look like they've been kind of. It's one of those situations where it's not a ladder and it's not stairs, but it's that point that's kind of from it being mostly held into place by it being half wedged in and kind of built to measure for that specific position. And it looks like it goes up. Looks like it goes up quite a ways. It looks like about 20, 30 feet at least.
And down the other passageway, the one that's directly to the left of the entry.
It is a lot cleaner than the other ones. There's no dust. There's no animal leavings or anything down there. You can also tell with flashlight that it is also tiled.
Is the room that we're in tiled?
Yes.
But the one leading up was not.
Well, the one leading up was a ladder situation.
The entire tunnel is the ladder situation.
Yeah, like it's about a foot or two before you immediately would have to start climbing.
Do the tiles lead right up to the ladder?
Yes, they do.
I can see the top of the ascent.
Yeah, it'd be dim because, again, 20, 30 feet flashlight. But yeah, you'd be able to see.
And the left passageway, does it descend or continue?
It seems to go straight ahead. It goes quite a ways, and you notice that the walls to it they're different. You have difficulty putting your finger on the specifics, but they almost have like a wave to them.
Do they still seem to be naturally occurring?
They look less naturally occurring, but it's hard to put your finger on of how much is it. Could this be that they've altered it a little bit? Have they altered it a lot but tried to make it look natural? It's something in that area of you're not 100% positive either way.
I see. Do you recall how large the hill that this cave belongs to was outside? There's an ascent here, and it's at least 30 feet up.
No, I didn't look particularly closely at all, and, well...
30 feet would be possible.
We also don't know how far we've descended, really.
Yes, quite. On the other hand, this passageway here... Tommy, Olive, thank you for joining us. This passageway here is significantly cleaner than anywhere else that we've been so far. It is well cared for and well kept from what I can tell.
Admittedly, one of us did cover the other in a new layer of rubble.
True.
But that does indicate a bit more life, doesn't it?
There was a house nearby, was there not?
Yes, back where we left the vehicle. Yes? Wasn't there a farmhouse back there?
Oh, okay, so it wasn't out here. I thought the house was
15 minutes.
Entrance to the gate. Oh, okay, gotcha. That was me not remembering correctly.
Within easy walking distance, though, Mr. Young. You're quite right.
But not perhaps in the direction we have been traveling.
Does anyone else get the feeling we're walking into a trap here? I mean, they're
I-
just leaving breadcrumbs along the way so that we'll follow them exactly where we want to go. Like, I think if we're going to go down any further, we need to be ready to be ambushed at any moment.
Yes, well, as they teach you in the army, dear, if you know you're walking into the trap, then you're the trap yourself.
I've been expecting an ambush since 1915.
Yes, I understand. I just have a feeling that this ascent is as disused as the descent was in the previous room, but I cannot put my finger on why. It seems significantly more haphazardly made than, come and look at this tunnel.
Yeah, Raven will go and
There
look
is
down the
something
tunnel.
very odd about the architectural choices here.
And using the light of Professor's flashlight, Raymond will look down the tunnel and see if he can see that same waviness.
Yep. It's definitely there. It would be very strange for this to be just a natural process.
If I look at it through the lens,
Okay.
That's way smart. I was going to just touch it.
if I didn't have the lens, that's what I would have done.
Good question. If you look through the lens,
If I look through the lens,
You immediately go insane.
we passed that road miles ago.
you've been in treatment for ages.
To stabilize him.
Yeah.
Journey, not a destination.
That's
If
right.
he looks at the markings on the wall through the lens, what does he see?
What does he see? Well, he needs to make a sanity check.
There it is.
I
Yeah.
knew it. The
Yeah,
second time I went,
obviously.
okay.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly what I was expecting. Exactly what I was expecting.
buddy.
Oh.
Nice.
We've been playing 2 seasons, and I still don't know whether a failure is good or bad.
No, the failure on this is bad. If I then have
The knowledge
if I then
that
have
you
to
wanna fail.
yes, if I then
Yeah.
have a knowledge check, no, it's an idea roll.
Yeah,
I
okay.
want to fail
okay.
the idea roll that he's about to ask me to make. I think.
No, it's not. There's not any pattern to the data.
Okay.
You all see Horace kind of put up the thing and immediately like stumble backwards and fall. As Horace, you put it on and it's just a cacophony of light and sound and pressure, and you could hear colors and see noise and see vibrations, and it just knocked you on your ass.
Mr. Young, are you
I'll
all
run
right?
over.
You are going to lose 1 sanity for that.
Nothing to me at this point.
Even
Alright,
with
stay
a
with me,
failure,
buddy.
only 1 sanity. That's not bad.
Horace, you alright?
What did you see?
It is indescribable. It all was fractious and immense, as if the relationships between my senses were enhanced, the barriers demolished. There is something about these walls. Something eminent. Which
concentrates and reflects everything.
Is it only the... I'm going to pick up the glass and look at the floor through it. Is it only the walls in this chamber?
Sorry, the floor of where?
The floor of the room that we're in, the carved stone.
So the hallway, the tunnel.
The secondary chamber, but we still stand within.
Where the handbag
one
was.
The one we found the handbag in.
The floor of the one with the handbag.
Yes.
You see the shimmer, and you have this vague sense of pressure at the back of your head while you're looking through it.
What about the ascending ladder room?
Looking at these, you're like that. It's again sanity roll. It's that cacophony of synesthesia, and you feel like you can feel memories and taste numbers.
I'm
Nom 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 nom.
posing to catch the professor after seeing Horace collapse.
Cool.
Fair. I'm liable to break a hip.
Poising is what I meant.
Posing. I'll catch you, Professor.
He's posing. He's not going to do it, but he's posing like he would.
He's like, I totally won't drop him. Success. That's going to be 0. You stumble, but you don't fall.
And I can confirm that both of these exits have the same pattern of chaos.
Horace, did you look at the stone blocks of the floor in the other room before we left it with the lenses?
Not through the lens.
Would you forgive me if I were to borrow it and do that real quick? I'm curious.
Of course.
You're welcome to it, Raymond.
I shall accompany you.
We should perhaps all stay close.
That is a fair point. If we're expecting an ambush, then, well, not leaving each other in the dark is for the best.
And on that note, Tommy will go touch the wall.
Oh, God!
Yeah, the wavy wall, it feels moist. Feels like slick, wet stone. But it doesn't look wet. And your hand pulls off, and it's not wet, but it has that feeling as though it is. And part of it's definitely from it being cold. And part of it is you realize it doesn't look like it, but feeling it is like polished smooth. It almost feels like it almost feels like sea glass.
This thing's smoother than anything. Like a wet fish or something. There's just no friction.
Be careful there, Mr. Cole.
Well, we're supposed to be connected to this too, right? We're supposed to have this energy around us. I kind of like hold my hands on it, kind of, I don't know, almost willing to feel some kind of energy or pulse or anything.
On this smooth wall.
Mm-hmm. Just kind of hold my hand against it. And I don't know, just kind of accept that there are things above me. I accept this idea that there are things I don't understand and just kind of like listen out for this feeling.
I'm gonna let you make an idea roll with that.
Ooh.
It's not what I expected this to go, but okay. I'm gonna roll with this.
Idea, is that...
It's intelligence, right?
Intelligence, yes.
Ah, okay. That I'm good at those. But we always say that before we roll 91.
Oh!
And I can't think of a damaging way to push, so yeah.
Press your whole body up against it.
Lick it.
Really
Give me some of
try.
Lick the wall, Tommy.
I can't spend another 11 luck. It's not. But
No,
I want
get
it so bad.
I get it.
Tommy, would you come with us and let me assuage my curiosity for just one moment in the other room?
Yeah, I can't let go of the wall. Just thought I'd get something there. I'll come with you, and I'll head off.
So Raymond will lead the group into the other room and borrow the lens from Professor, who has it at the moment, I think.
Yes, it's in your hands.
Thank you. And use it. Yes, Olive? Did you?
No, I just want to say before, like on the way back, I want to make sure we're walking with the marks on the left-hand side. Like I want to make sure that there's not some weird trickery going on and that my marks are still there on the left side.
Yes, going from the room with the purse back into the first room, your marks are still there.
Great.
Sorry, has everyone go back to the first room then?
I think I might wait at the turn in that tunnel with my flashlight so that I can see them, but also see if something comes into that room that we've left behind.
Yeah. So Dr. Raymond Fox, you have the lens.
Yes. And I'd like to use it to examine the stones of the floor.
Are you examining all of this? Like, what? Tell me more about your process.
So I'll step into the just barely back into this room and standing at like the edge of it with my back basically to the opening that we just returned through. I'll first use it to sweep over the floor as a whole to see if anything pings at all with a light or anything.
Yeah, you do that, and that spot in the center.
Oh, yes.
Looks not there.
I'll approach closer using the lens and like get a closer look at it.
Yeah, so you get up close to it, and well into the lens, that center tile is not there.
If I drop the lens, is the center tile not there?
No, it's there.
Okay, interesting. So everyone, looking through the lens, the center tile of this isn't here. Looking through the lens, I'll take my hand and I'll go to touch where it isn't.
Yeah. Your hand grasps something that feels cold and metallic and like it's thin. It almost feels like wire.
But I don't see it. I'm just touching it.
You feel it before your hand reaches where the stone would be.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Like you feel like you're reaching into sand, and then there's like something in the sand.
Okay. I'd like to feel along the wire, as it were. Good. Along the wire, and try to not disturb it, thinking it's like a tripwire. I just want to like run my hand along it to see if I can run into anything else.
Yeah, it shifts, and it as you kind of reach down, it is sand, so it's hard to kind of force your foot, but it feels like it goes down in both directions.
Okay. Then I will grasp
You all
it.
see him kind of like with his hand just kind of frozen above the stone. One other hand at the lens to his eye, and like screwed up like.
Just slowly raising the.
Then I will grasp the wire,
Mhm.
and I will pull. I'll try and pick up.
Yeah. So to everyone else, it's almost like a magic trick, in that he all of a sudden pulls what looks like a tarnished old, very fine. And I say fine not as in nice. I say fine as in like delicate and thin, almost like a circlet or a crown. And it seems like he just pulls it out of midair.
I would like to turn to Tommy and say, don't do it.
I don't even know what it would be right now.
I know that you're looking at that crown and wanting to put it on your head, but I'm just saying, don't do it.
What's happening?
Raymond has found
Fox.
something.
Yeah.
Fox has found something. Also, this is the first time I've seen a really shiny object and not wanting to steal anything. Olive, I'm genuinely thinking this experience is changing me.
You're...
How does it look through the lens, right?
Yeah, good point. I'll examine it
The
through
crown?
the lens.
The
Yeah.
exact same.
No change, lens or otherwise.
Now, would
Okay.
that be unusual to hear? Like, I know some things aren't affected by the same stuff, but when I was like looking at the bone, would I have said that looks exactly the same as it does without the lens?
Yeah, so if it was in the outside world, outside of these caves, it would have been not remarkable. But so much here is weird. It is remarkable in that it is not remarkable.
Right. May I see the lens, please?
Yes, and I'll take the lens down from my eye and hand it off to Horace.
How strange.
Does anything here, Horace? Does anything change if I put it on like this? And I'll put it on.
Oh, what did I do? Oh,
You told Tommy not to. I found it. I can put it on.
I thought that
I
went
thought we
for the
were
whole
whispering.
group. Oh, gosh.
If it's any consolation, I was going to if he did.
Chekhov's circlet.
Yes. Well, no. If it was Chekhov's circlet, it would have been in the third act. This would be like we introduce the gun
And it
someone
immediately
immediately
went
takes
off.
it off the wall and points it in their own mouth.
So before you could see through him, you could see all the parts of him. You could see so much more. And he puts the circlet on and he looks normal.
Wunderbar.
I look good, don't
What
I?
is it? What has happened?
We appear to have discovered a means by which we can ignore the effects of our strange existential circumstance.
What on earth do you mean, Mr. Young?
Raymond is, at the moment, completely unaffected by any strange physics. He is as a normal man. As we have not been since we received invitations to the Black Rabbit.
Got any more crowns down there that you can pull out of thin air, wherever you pulled it from?
I can root around, but I doubt it.
Okay, because I would really like to go back to the way things were before all this.
Horace will stick his hand. I mean, I assume he sees through the lens where the hole is.
Yep. You just feel sand.
Just sand. How far can I reach my hand? This is
How
gonna
far do you
become-
want to try to reach your hand?
As far as it'll go.
We stop him at the shoulder, though.
Okay.
I assume it's not going to fit past there.
Yeah, you get up to the shoulder, and it just feels like there's more sand down there.
Is it like
Wave my arm around a little bit.
yeah? Is
In
it a
circle.
limited shape?
How far?
Or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it feel like there's a pit of sand just underneath, or is it like a tube?
You wave your hand, you get a lot of movement, and then you feel your hand brushes up against it. Almost feels like wiry fur, and something moves away from
Yep.
you.
Yep.
Back to the gun again.
Ah. Withdrawing his arm.
Roll Dex.
Yep.
Oh gosh.
It's all right. You're very dexterous. You'll do fine.
Oh, extremely. Extremely so.
Okay. I've seen horror movies where this
There
happens.
are two. See what I could push this by doing what I didn't want to do initially, which is try to yank my hand out under the assumption that that would enliven whatever's down here.
Oh, I think you've well and truly done that, to be fair.
Mhm.
Yeah, but like
Touch
it's like
it.
it's like a movement thing where if it's moving slowly, but then as soon as you start moving it fast, like a dog, just like
Do it. What else do you got to lose?
my arm.
An arm.
You don't need an arm. It's fine.
Okay, I'll do it. Why did I say that?
Why did you listen to me?
Oh no!
I have to point out that no one has listened to Olive all night until
One
now.
time.
Yeah. So Horace
Can we
starts
yank
to
him?
move his arm slowly, and then he like feels it move away. You see his arm, his eyes just go wide. His body freezes, and he goes to yank his arm out, and then I assume it just doesn't.
Actually, you go flying. Which arm did you put down there?
Now answer very carefully.
God.
Oh, he's gone. Horace is gone.
You would have
Am
been
I?
holding the
Am I
glass.
No,
gone?
you
with
did.
your
You
dominant
leaned
hand.
forward and you disappeared, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Horace is gone."
You would have been
Glass-
holding the glass with your dominant hand naturally, right?
I don't know if I've ever said that Horace is left-handed, but he has been.
Okay.
Devil.
It was like the second thing I ever determined about him.
Amba sinister.
So yeah. No, he's not. Well, he's in some sense he's about to be, in that all of his hands will be left hands. If you really want to play with language like that, yeah. I mean, he has bad decks. He's not quite that bad. So yes, dominant left hand on the glass, non-dominant right hand, which I assume he no longer has.
Yeah. So
Oh.
Horace goes pulling back, and yanking back, and goes flying, and his arm ends about right here. And there's no blood.
Is it?
It's just a clean. It's just a clean stump.
Like
You're gonna
healed?
lose. Yeah.
Like the skin has grown over. It's just like the arm was never there.
Does it hurt?
Well, you're gonna have to roll a. You're gonna have to roll a few things.
Okay.
You're gonna have to roll me a sanity. You're gonna have to roll me a power,
Okay.
and you're gonna have to roll me another power.
Okay. This is about to be painful for me.
And you're gonna need to add to your character backstory under, I believe it's scars, that you don't have a right arm.
Yeah. So it's a failure on the sanity, and then 2 power rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Okay.
The first is a hard success. The second is a regular success.
Okay.
And I'm editing my character sheet.
Cool. What'd you
just
say?
so
Tom?
we can react accordingly. Do we remember a right arm?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good question.
Do I remember a right arm?
Yep.
Okay, so I recall having a right arm.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, cool. You don't have phantom limb syndrome.
Good.
And you're only gonna lose 5 dex, 5 con, 5 size.
I already don't have that much of those.
I mean, come on. I've got 20 strength and 20 con. It can't be that bad. Right?
5 dex, 5 con, 5 size.
Yeah.
Well, I'm with you in the 20s.
There.
Recalculate your max health.
That's
What's that?
terrifying.
Recalculate your max health.
It
Oh,
does that automatically. How
Awesome.
lovely.
Great to know.
What is your max health now?
7.
Oh,
So
we're
if I
7 health
if I was missing one already, am I now at 6 out of 7 or 7 out of 7? If I was at 7 out of 8, does just the max go down or max and current?
Your max and current are going to go down.
Okay, lovely.
Ooh.
Because it is literally, there is less of you that is capable of taking damage.
So how does everybody who can see this, not me, react?
With sanity rolls.
That's a good question. Yeah.
Fair play.
Oh.
Okay.
How is the prosthetic limb technology of the
Bad.
next place?
It's very bad.
Yeah.
Well, I
Some
mean,
options.
it's about to go. It's starting to go through a little bit of its like one of its first. We're going to call it major revolutions, and it's still not great.
I assume.
Tyler,
The
would
results
you roll
of World
sanity
War-
for me, please?
Oh yes, thank
Thank
you
you.
for reminding.
I can't pull up my character sheet.
Dr. Raymond Fox. I'm going to pop that window out so I don't have to be as beholden to it. How are you still at such high sanity? Got to do something with that. Oh, because you keep rolling well. Successes are only going to lose 1. Failures are going to
I had
lose
my flask.
2. Sorry, what was that?
Who had my flask that I was carrying around shooting for them? Those are important questions.
I think
I
Tommy
I
drained
finished one of
I
them.
believe
finished
Tommy
it.
Damn
drained
it,
it.
Tommy.
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of forgot how drunk I was, to be honest.
You wish you were more.
You're sobered up now, I'm sure.
I wish I was more too.
Oh.
You'll be all right. All left.
No, I'm all left.
all left.
Oh gosh. Okay, before this gets out of control, I'm just
Out
gonna
of hand.
Oh no! I see Horace is missing.
No, not that one.
No. I'm gonna rush over and like pull him back from where he is near because I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. His hand went towards the floor and then through the floor and then through the floor and then he yanked it back and it was gone.
So I just pull you back like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh god.
Why are you missing an arm?
What happened? And I'm gonna stop watching the other passageway and try to figure out what's going on at this point.
I'm gun fixed on the hole and kind of pacing, like stepping back towards Horace, but staying focused on the hole. I'm like, what's going on, man? You all right?
All left, I think.
What?
Just staring at where his arm used to be.
What happened to his arm?
Some real gallows humor you got there, mate.
Okay, are we ready to leave the fucking cave now? I mean, people are missing arms. Like,
Horace.
I think your friend is gone. I'm so sorry to tell you, Professor. You gotta move on.
Olive, calm down. You reacted like you touched something.
Down.
Mr. Young should see a physician at the very least, yes?
I'm a doctor.
Not of the correct variety, Raymond.
I'm a medic.
Do you believe that he doesn't need to see an actual physician?
I'm keep focused on that hole.
Yes, all right. Why am I focused on the rock on the floor?
Apparently it's a hole. He
It's not
shouted
a
like
hole.
he felt something, and I'll check the arm.
Use the
if
lens.
I tap it
No,
with
do
my
not-
shotgun.
No. Horace is clutching
Without
the lens
using
as
the
close to him
lens.
as possible.
If I tap the spot that they've told me to watch with my shotgun, is it a hole?
No, it's a stone. It's
What
a
are you
tile.
talking about?
Don't act like we're ridiculous, Tyler. I heard that. Of course he's got an arm. What are you talking about?
No, it's just a stone. You left the room and you came back, and Horace has somehow become horribly maimed again.
I will check over Horace's arm.
Yeah, it's healed remarkably well. There's nothing for you to do here.
Is it healed? Or is it as though it was never there? That's what I want to know. Is there a scar? Is there a sign that he had an arm?
Yes.
Okay.
He's Horace, I'm sorry to say this, because obviously you're not, but Professor, medically, he's fine.
He's lost an arm.
And he's recovered from that very successfully. This is a good healer. This is a lucky person after an amputation.
What if we put the crown on him? Will it act like nothing ever happened?
What crown?
The one
This
that's
one.
on Freeman's head.
Where on earth did you find that?
In the hole.
Missed a lot, yeah.
What hole?
The one, well, it's not a hole when you're not looking through the lens. The lens that Horace has.
Give me the lens, Mr. Young.
No. It can get to us. If that's a stone.
I have no intention of sticking my protuberances into whatever it is.
It could get out.
Horace, I'm going to need the lens to try and walk down the hallway with the crown on. You know that, right?
Not in here. Once we leave.
Okay, I think he's right, Professor Tommy Olive. I think that if we leave the stone a stone, we've got what was in there, and we tried to get more, and it bit us. Let's push on. Horace, you, other than being suddenly recovered from something, you feel otherwise all right, right?
I think so.
Mary could be further in. If we leave, we won't come back.
Or we could come back better prepared. Let's rope with more lenses. The professor has more lenses. Why does she need them outside when we're the ones going into the danger?
It's a fair point. But counterpoint, if Mr. Young is correct that looking at whatever he claims has bitten off his arm through the lens has made it able to interact with him, is it safe to be using this lens at all here?
Someone who's seen tiny little worm turn into a giant freaking worm and eat somebody whole, basically. I'm thinking that whatever is here can get to us no matter what, lens or no lens. And I'd rather fight something that I can see rather than being blind.
Oh, all right. So you disagree with Mr. Young's hypothesis that looking through the lens released the creature?
Yeah, because what is all that noise we heard down the slide tunnel?
I think that's the point. There's people in here, and if we don't find them now, we're not. We could come back and this is empty. For our luck, we could come back and this isn't here at all.
Did the growling we were hearing earlier, was it literally something in the rock? Is that why knocking? No, you said something and it stopped.
Yeah, I just spoke. It sounded like
grinding again, but it stopped.
I'm gonna put my ear to the ground, like I'm tracking something. Can I hear anything?
You wait for a little bit, and you hear the rumbling again.
Horace, let me look through
Tyler.
the lens.
Tyler, could you turn the high-pitched, creepy music down maybe 15% or so, because it's making it really hard to hear the other quiet noises for me? Not all the way off necessarily, just lower. Thank you.
I'm gonna hold up my baseball bat. I'm just gonna yell out to this cave. Come and fight me like a man. Stop hiding in sand. I wouldn't know it's sand. And creepy holes.
That wasn't a man's laugh.
Did that
Do
come
we-
from below?
Can we pick up
Yeah,
on
listen.
which way it came from?
Listen,
What was that, Tyler?
all
Roll
of
me a
us.
listen.
Who is rolling, to be clear?
Can I-
All of us trying to figure out where it came from.
All right.
Okay.
Horace has got it.
Perfect.
Now that there's less of him, he can focus on the bits that are still there better.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
It came from down the slide.
Hmm. Were there any emanations from down there?
This was too dark. I couldn't see.
There was muttering though, and laughing.
No, I mean with the lens. Raymond, when you came into the room, were there any emanations coming from the hole down there?
Oh, from the slide. I didn't notice any.
No more or less than anywhere else.
Just the kind of haze throughout. It was the center of the room that caught my attention.
Yes, this hole in nothing.
Okay. I'm tired of playing whatever creature's game this is, so one of you shine a flashlight down there. I'm going in and just ending this.
What parts of our current circumstance
where
makes
are you
believe
going?
that that's what
Yeah,
a desirable
I'm
outcome?
actually going with her.
There's a
Down the
few
slide?
different inns we could be talking about right now.
Down,
So
you
can
mean
we
down the
clarify?
slide.
Okay.
Down the slide.
slide.
The laugh is
Okay.
coming from.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
fire,
I mean, I'll shine a flashlight and keep the gun pointed down there as they go down.
Yeah,
When he does, Horace will look through the lens. Not to the center of the room. Down the slide.
down the slide. Okay.
Specifically, like he's blocking off that part of the room with his
You only
hand.
have one hand. How can you do that?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Like this. Like he's
Yeah.
he's got his head curled around it. He's only
Okay.
looking.
So, Olive, Tommy, you start to head down. You head down the slide. You have a torch in tow. You made your way to the bottom, no problem. There's still the body there. There's still the set of footprints. There are, once you've lit the place and you have some time to look around, there are 3 tunnels off of this one that are straight ahead, to the right, to the left. This looks like it is a now you've had some time to look around, it looks almost like it's a, you don't know what kind of room, but there's almost like benches or low shelves carved into or carved out of the wall. So it's kind of like there's stone about 2-3 feet off the ground benches. Between the further tunnels, there's one straight ahead and then one to your left and one to your right. The footprints go straight ahead. There's no noticeable change looking through the lens.
Do you see any sign of a ravenous devil down there?
Nothing yet.
There's a nice trail leading further in.
More breadcrumbs?
Yep. We gotta choose a tunnel and stick with it. If we're not leaving this cave, and I will say I told you so later when we all die, but if we're staying here, we probably should choose a channel and just going up or going down.
Do any of those passageways have that wavy pattern on the walls?
Going to the right, yes.
To the right.
Are we trying to take that or avoid that?
Professor, you and Horace looked through the lens at the wavy tunnel up here and were struck by the overwhelming sensations. I want to try it wearing the tiara.
Yes. Yes, that's worthwhile.
It's worth checking. I had another thought as well. How do we feel about putting a good solid halloo down that tunnel from up here and seeing if you all hear it down there?
We could fire a firearm, make an insane amount of noise.
Maybe they connect, is what I'm saying. Maybe one leads to the other, and we could figure that out without having to go along the path.
You want to split up when things are lurking around stealing our arms? Sure, go ahead.
Not split up. It's only just around the corner here.
I mean, that was a pretty good distance away, but hey, you know what?
No,
Yeah, that would net be over 100 feet.
Like, yeah, let's try it out, Professor.
All right.
The three of us up here will go over to that other tunnel as far forward as we've gone and make some noise, and then we'll come back and you'll tell us if you heard it come from the wavy tunnel. All right?
Or you could shout. No, don't shout back. Don't shout back.
Well, if I can hear you, I'm going to shout back.
But what if
Let's go
something
check
down
out.
there hears you?
They already know we're here.
All right.
I'll
Do as you
bang
will.
my
As you're
back.
yelling up and down.
Yeah.
You go over to the room with the purse. Which hallway tunnel are you yelling down from the room with the purse?
The one with the curvy walls. The
The one with the curvy walls.
theory being that there's a curvy walled
Yep.
tunnel down there as well, and they connect.
At the same time, I'd like to try and... Horace, may I use the lens for a moment?
Yes.
Thank you. And while he's yelling, I'm going to look with the lens wearing the crown.
Yeah, make your sanity roll.
Yeah. Oops. Could you make a sanity roll for me?
Yep.
Pretty please.
Okay. Crown didn't help.
Not at all. Maybe it made it worse. Who knows? We'll find out, I suppose.
I do want to try something after this, though.
Okay, well, we're gonna start finishing experiments before jumping ahead.
Yeah.
You are gonna lose one sanity
Okay.
as you encounter the same synesthetic madness that the other ones had experienced. Kendra and Tommy, you're down and you don't hear them.
You know we're gonna die here, right? I say to Tommy when they're all gone.
Sorry?
You know we're probably gonna die here, right? I mean, Horace is losing an arm. People are putting crowns from I don't know where from on their head. I mean, like it just seems like we are determined to kill ourselves today.
I maybe, but I sort of feel like it's been worse than this, right?
Maybe, but before then, I didn't know all this stuff. Now I know a little bit too much. And I know it probably gets worse.
Yeah, I meant it when I said that I vowed to stop touching things as much, but
I have not seen evidence of that statement as of yet, but hey.
oh, you cut me off. I was about to say, but
Oh.
I shout Professor down the corridor.
Okay, well that's a step in a direction.
He started writing
And
something
if I
down,
don't
he
hear
should've
a
done
and if I don't hear a response, I'm gonna shrug at Olive and start walking down the corridor.
Professor, you can roll me a listen roll.
Ooh,
And which?
the right one, the one with the curved walls, I believe.
Cool. Yep.
As you walk away, just be like, "There's no one, you Tommy."
Not coming?
Let me see what happens to you first. I'll guard.
If they hadn't heard me the first time or hadn't responded, I would have walked in a bit of a distance to shout again.
Guns are loud.
Yes, but I'm trying to listen right now, and hello, Tommy. Does that allow me to push?
No, I can push with that. His yell doesn't come from ahead. It comes from back. It comes from up the ladder.
Whose yell?
Tommy's.
We hear Tommy. I hear Tommy coming from the other room.
Professor!
No, coming from back in the room with the purse. There's that ladder up.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
coming from up
The other
there.
passageway.
Yep.
What? I will run over there. Thomas!
Yeah, so you can yell and you hear each other.
Professor! Shit, you were right.
No, I was quite wrong.
I mean, this is the yelling and the echoes still, so it's like, Professor! You were right. No!
I hate
Wrong,
this.
wrong.
I'm still walking into the corridor, by the way. I'm hoping
Yeah.
to, like, bump into the professor in a minute.
Gentlemen, they're this way. That makes no sense. This is up.
Raymond has just been looking around the room with the lens. Just like, what? Oh, excellent.
Am I the only one that hears Thomas?
Nope. Oh. Once it's pointed out, if they go towards that, they can hear it too.
Olive! The professor's this way. Come check it out.
Yeah. I'll be right behind you. I don't move.
I'll just keep going.
Yeah, you find.
Wait, do you have a flashlight?
I don't. I'm being somewhat cautious if I'm in a dark corridor.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, I was gonna give it to y'all that you had given Olive and Tommy a flashlight instead of left them in the dark.
Yeah.
I thought Raymond dropped another flare down there.
I had just had the first flare.
Okay.
One
I may
flare
have misunderstood
down
that.
there and down the
Did you guys
slide,
give
and
us
it
a flashlight?
and it started
It's
to go
burned out
out.
now.
Yeah,
It burned out when we went into the room with the person in.
Right.
we would have left one flashlight with the
We
group of
would have-
Olive and Tommy.
Yes,
and
for
one
sure.
with us.
Yeah,
For sure.
I was.
I just wasn't
presuming-
sure if Tommy had it or Olive had it.
Well, that's between.
Okay. I will
I
follow.
kind of assumed I was walking
Tommy.
into darkness, but
Okay.
it seems
Yeah.
funnier that I was just like, yeah, okay, Olive, you know, I'm gonna go check this out, and just walked away.
I mean, it's also
Okay.
funny into darkness, and Olive has the flashlight. Like,
Are you seriously
keep
just
it-
walking into
I
the
actually want to
dark?
keep it that way around. I assumed I was walking in darkness, so I'll assume Olive has the flashlight.
Okay, that's what I
After
wanted to
a moment,
clarify.
I realized that you were walking into a dark tunnel. It's like, fucking hell. And I will pick up a stone and I want to. Now, if I mark the walls in this tunnel, do they leave a mark? 'Cause they do? Okay. So, again, right side, every 5 steps, I leave a mark on the wall. And I will follow Tommy.
And this is the downstairs curvy wall tunnel. Okay.
yeah,
Were the footsteps leading towards this tunnel or another way?
Nope.
So that was the
Central
middle tunnel.
Yeah, this was the
Hannibal's,
right one. I think you
Hannibal's
said.
Center Road.
Got it. Okay. I can't draw this.
Main Street campus.
Right,
Oh.
I know. I'm getting to that point, especially now that like the geography is not lining up.
Yeah, I guess we just keep going.
yeah. So Olive catches up with you after a few bits, and you find a little alcove. Kind of the tunnel goes, and it kind of like widens a bit to a little alcove as it turns, then it kind of keeps going. Here it looks like at one point you're looking at the ground, and it looks like at one point there was a stream or something through here, because this doesn't look nearly as finished. But in that little alcove, you do see just a bunch of growths of something kind of in that alcove. They look like a fungus of some kind. And as the light dances over them, they kind of like the opposite of heliotropism. Like they kind of like all shift away very slightly. But it's slow, and it's again, it's a lot like heliotropism, which is as the sun goes across the sky, plants shift slightly. So it's more of like they all kind of have like a little like a slight little thing, and if you hold the flashlight on them, they'll kind of slowly like away. Yeah, but they look like toadstools, kind of like they are a fungus. The closest thing would be a type of toadstool.
Oh, I suddenly wish I hadn't touched that wall.
As a professor, is the other team climbing up then?
I think Raymond will pop his second of 3 total flares, leave it in the room, and take the flashlight with him and climb the ladder.
Okay.
Does it look like something that I could climb without any risk?
If you're taking your time, 100%.
All right.
There is no risk in your time. If you had to go up or down this in a hurry, different story.
All
If,
right.
hypothetically, on the off chance.
When would we ever?
Then I will ascend with Raymond then.
Or is to bring up the rear.
Cool. So Olive and Tommy, you can keep going down the tunnel, or you can check out the fungi.
Who doesn't like a fun guy?
But
Did
I am
Tommy
going to
maybe
point
do-
it out. That is strange, right?
Yeah, do you have like I know you usually carry some like sharp tools on you. Maybe can you scrape it off into like I don't know, I can give you a sock.
I don't even
give you a
honestly,
sock.
Olive, it's serious. Like I don't even have my knife. Like
Who are you?
Yeah, I'll try and find like, I don't know, a bit of paper or something and just kind of prod the mushroom.
I'll pull off my shoe and then pull off one of my socks, put back on the shoe, and just kind of like open the sock to collect
And
this.
I want Storm Bless 470 banned from the chat.
You're welcome.
Sorry.
Shaking my head. Yeah, the paper, you kind of like go at it, and it's like the paper cuts it, but then gets like immediately sodden with there's there's fluid coming out, so you can't do anything else with the paper because it gets just soggy.
Could I take like the bottom of like, the round part of a baseball bat and just kind of like holding the thicker part, like kind of push like pressure onto the mushroom so they fall off onto the floor?
Sure.
Okay. And then I'll put my hand in my sock, pick up the mushrooms, and then just like roll it over
Okay.
the mushrooms, tie it up, and stuff it in my pocket.
Okay. Within a few moments, your pocket is drenched.
Oh. Okay.
It's sodden through the sock, and you can definitely tell there's a liquid there.
That's concerning. It's probably touching my body at this point. That's really, really cool.
This is a long shot, but could I make a forest survival based on my background as a soldier to I guess I don't know how Tommy would phrase this, but I'm just thinking like, is this terrestrial? Like, is this natural?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
It seems like a mushroom. Tommy kind of goes through the basic safety stuff he knows of, like, how do you test a new plant you don't recognize, of like, touch it, wait a little bit, all right, no rash, all right, touch it, then touch your lip, then touch like your ear or part of your nose, wait a little bit, all right, no rash. And doesn't eat it or anything, but kind of is like, okay, this isn't gonna, this doesn't seem like it's gonna make Olive's leg fall off or anything. It, it just seems like a really strange subterranean mushroom, and you can't get much else off of it right now.
I will take the sock out of my pocket and then just tie it around the base of my baseball bat, so it's not on me dripping, but at least we have it on our person for if we want to do shrooms later. I don't know. Yeah, research. And then I guess, okay, Tommy, if you're done, we can.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop poking this. Let's just see if we can find where they are.
So you all continue down the tunnel.
I would occasionally be shouting out, Thomas!
Oh, then yeah, you're all, it's getting louder. You're getting closer. So the team coming from the purse room, you get to the top and you have a bit of a winding tunnel for a bit. The other team is coming from the other direction, and again has a little bit of winding, and you end up meeting in it is a room with 4 straight walls at odd angles. So it's not a parallelogram, it's not a trapezoid, there are 4 walls that are connected at odd angles. In the middle is what looks a lot like a big stone slab that may be for some sort of ritual purpose. There are a couple of scattered pieces of paper here and there on the floor. There are, as you are dancing the flashlights around, there's at least a half dozen doorknobs, and the body on that slab has, at first glance, it just looks like a body. And then you notice that the shapes underneath the sheet on it aren't quite right. But it looks like looks like the head of a man who's would have been probably, you'd guess, in his 30s or 40s upon death.
Are you two all right?
Hold up my mushrooms. And some mushrooms.
You have a wet sock.
Oh, hold up my wet sock. And some mushrooms.
Why?
I don't know. Why anything?
Just for my knowledge, did I feel like we went up, or did we go down, or did we go straight on?
We went straight.
But I guess I don't know about the ladder yet, because we met in the middle.
No.
Raymond would
Well, you're right, Professor. I guess they linked up.
No, not at all. We heard your voice coming down the ladder in the room with the purse. And we went up the ladder 30 feet, if not a bit more, and found you here. Where did you find such a steep climb? It must have been 100 feet or more to get up to this height.
walked straight the whole time. Barely a hard walk at all. Are we gonna talk about the elephant in the room?
Yes.
We don't.
How decayed? How long has he been dead, Thomas? Do you think?
Yeah, resident body poker here. I'll go over to the table with to the slab with the body on it, and I guess I will look over the body. Is it skeletal? Is it fairly fresh?
It is a bit desiccated, but it is not a skeleton.
Oh.
Right.
I kind of wince a bit, and I'll like do a check to see like roughly how long it's been here. And
Yeah, you can make a first aid.
ooh.
We can see the face of this body.
Yeah, there's a sheet that kind of goes over here and down.
Is it Edmund?
A lot easier to tell if you took the sheet off.
I would like to push that roll, and unless there's something worse that could happen, what could possibly happen? Like just getting covered in this desiccated body would be, I guess, the failure.
How are you pushing it?
All the sheet.
Yeah, I'll wait, did you say get on the sheet?
No, I
Said
said
pull
pull
off the
the sheet.
Yeah, I am gonna pull off the sheet.
Cool.
Roll. Come on, you can do it.
Fantastic. All right, so we'll see you all next week. Or not next week, or the week after.
What?
For the next issue of the Black Rabbit Society, where we'll return to the caves. As always, thank you at the Dungeon Sketcher for doing all of the fantastic art.
Yes.
For our player characters, thank you to Syrinscape, to the numerous museums and stuff that have been helping out and put up all sorts of awesome art and stuff out there. We've got Dungeons and Deities tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. They're going to be finishing up a huge arc, so it's worth checking them out. October 15th, we've got our new Wish You Were Here campaign. Joel runs gaming at StartPlaying.Games. Look him up at leonidas.games, leonidas-games. Peter Edgar's the one. If you liked this, it'd be awesome if you subscribe, buy a sub, get one for your friend, give a suggestion, all sorts of awesome stuff. We're going to go raid someone now, I believe, but thank you all so much for watching, and you continue to be the best horde of wandering souls one could ask for.
Have a great week, y'all.
Yeah.